Hi, everyone, and welcome to another Homeschool Live with the Old Schoolhouse. I'm your host, Christine, and joining me again is Nadim from CTC Math. Thanks for joining us again.
Hey Christine, how are you?
Great, we're doing great. We're so excited to hear more wisdom from you and get to know more about CTC Math. And today we are talking about independent learning and independent learning that actually works. So I'm excited about that. And I was thinking about this today that, especially if you have little ones, independent learning is not a concept right now because they're very needy, they're very dependent, and it's a lot of work. But I promise you, if you're in that stage, it gets a little bit easier. They do become more and more independent, and it all depends on what the resources and the tools that we do have. So let's talk a little bit about the goal of independence. And so, you know, especially in the area of math, many of us want our kids to take ownership of math and, tackle it on their own. Um, but as expected, it does end up in a bit of frustration. So how does a resource like CTC Math help set students up for independent success?
Yeah, I love the question, particularly in the area of math, because math is one of those subjects where you don't want to really turn it into those daily battles, right?
Exactly.
Those, it can be a real pain point for families, and outsourcing is a great way for someone else to do that heavy lifting for you.
Exactly.
And with CTC Math, it empowers the student with clear, self-paced, learn at their own pace. Um, Video tutorials, and they can really take ownership of their math learning, of their math journey. And it's important to note that independence does not mean isolation, that
Right.
that students still require a structure and support system built into whatever they are doing or however they are learning their math.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, for
Another
sure.
concept that sort of gets brought up in this idea, I think, is the why behind the work important? And what we would say is that building confidence is what is important, and each child's unique and
Hmm.
each child's different. And how you build confidence in that child's understanding, in that child, is by building up their understanding and their capabilities. You know, you're much more confident doing something that you are good at, right?
Of
You
course.
enjoy it a lot more,
Yeah.
right? So it's all about building up those capabilities.
It's funny because, especially in the area of math, my youngest, who is now not 9, yes, I had to check. He's 9 now, and he's got, the area of math that we're in right now is a little bit easier than some of the other areas right now, but he feels he says this to me every week when we have to tackle, we do subject per day. So on Wednesdays it's math. And so he every day, every morning he's like, "Mom, I'm more confident when you're sitting next to me." So, but it turns out every single time that because we've put in the work and given him the tools to be more independent in doing his math. He actually can't do it, but it's hilarious. Every week he says, "I kind of need you to sit next to me, and then I feel more confident." So I'm happy to do that and help. But it's the tools for sure. Like CTC Math is like my kids had loved CTC Math. And so you mentioned, that lesson structure that really helps with independence. How are the CTC lessons uh, designed so that students can learn and practice on their own?
Sure. They follow a mastery approach. They're short, concise, and to the point. What takes others 15, 20, 25 minutes to explain, Pat does in 4 to 6 minutes.
Hmm.
And the thinking behind that is if you have a 45-minute math lesson, the speed to practice is a lot more efficient and quicker with
Right,
CTC Math. So
right.
if you're teaching for 30 minutes with only 15 minutes of practice, that's going to be disastrous for the
Yeah,
child.
yeah,
What's much better is a 5-minute video tutorial and 40 minutes of practice. So it gives you time to focus on the concept and really master that concept. But what's also important is the structure behind the video tutorials. So once they've watched and completed that video tutorial, it's immediately followed by interactive questions which adapt in difficulty level.
Right.
And they receive that instant feedback. So they receive that instant affirmation. You don't want them doing 10 questions and then realizing at the end of those 10 questions that they got all 10 wrong, right?
Oh, yeah, that's devastating.
Yeah. You want to pinpoint right away those errors. And with the work solutions, so that instant feedback and then the work solutions, which explains how to do it step by step, if they need additional support, they're able to check their mastery and kick on.
Which is great, which is great. And that is really key in that independence so that they can start tracking on their own and take pride in their progress, which helps them push further. I know my kids, they used to get really excited and, oh, look at what level I am and look how many stars I got. And so and then they would try to again do that mastery and see if they can get all the stars. And which is incredible for the subject of math because once you get it, okay, I got it right, like get rid of it, like let's move on. But they actually go back and they're encouraged to just let's see if I can do better, let's see if I can do better, which is amazing from a parent point of view. And so for those of us parents who maybe want the independence, but then you know, we kind of want to make sure that we're keeping track and we're watching their progress. What kind of reporting and tools does CTC Math provide us so that we can confidently step back and still have that confidence of that we're actually monitoring the progress?
Yes, that's a great question. And that's really important. I would say every child needs accountability.
Of course.
And this is where we're going to come in with the detailed reports, which are emailed to parents weekly. You can log in at any point in time in the parents area to access these reports, but they are detailed. They explain time spent, the grade level, the mastery achieved, which lessons they clicked on, whether they just watched the video tutorials or just did the adaptive questions or just did the worksheet or did a combination of all. And these weekly reports give a clear snapshot of progress to parents. And of course, parents can also assign activities.
Right.
They can they can do that with a few clicks of a button and actually assign an entire year's worth of work through the course planner.
Which is great.
So that, yeah, that also creates accountability and triggers off reports based around those activities.
Mhm. Yep, I remember getting those reports, which I loved. And, especially when it was a particularly hard, I remember my elder son, he had trouble with, I think it was long division, and he would tell me, he's like, "Oh, it's too hard. I can't do it," and I just couldn't finish it. But because I got that report, I only saw that, he only watched the video and he didn't actually try it again. He, only one attempt and I'm like, you sure you want to go? I think you should go back in and actually. So that word accountability was so key in helping, just all of us stay on the right track. So I appreciate that tool for sure as a parent.
It's wonderful.
So building discipline and confidence. So what does independence in math learning look like in the long term? So how does this skill transfer to other subjects and maybe even some life skills?
Yeah. I think what's really important is that they create self-motivation
True.
and they learn that, I mean, math is wonderful for learning time management and resilience. It as well as cognitive thinking and processing, problem solving. But when kids take ownership of their own independent learning and learn at their own pace, that skill in time management and resilience and accountability, self-motivation and accountability of themselves, well, that of course translates to other areas and subjects in life.
Mhm.
I think with math, it can, particularly a subject like math, when they are struggling and they are able to conquer that,
Mhm.
they feel like a lot of other things are also achievable.
Achievable. Yeah. Yeah.
That confidence really does spill over in other subjects. And parents often notice this. We receive countless emails from parents all around the world about how CTC Math has transformed their everyday homeschooling experience.
Which is great. That's awesome. So, speaking of people writing in, do you have any examples of these,
Yeah,
you know, uh, what's the word? Th those winning situations?
yeah, yeah. We well, if you visit our website and you just click testimonials, there's a large list of testimonials there. Um, as well as just Googling CTC Math Review and
Oh,
CTC
sure.
Math testimonials. There's quite a few. We've also noticed actually in Facebook, if you search within Facebook, people commenting about CTC Math,
That's right.
you get some great insights into how people are practically using it
Mhm.
day by day. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Those Facebook groups, yeah. If you're, especially if you're homeschooling in your particular homeschool Facebook groups, they they're the best places to go for honest opinions. And so yeah, that's how we came across CTC Math is from through a Facebook group. So and just relying on and hearing all of the great things about this program, and it is truly just a a lifesaver when it comes to math. And we will make sure and put the link in the comments so that you can go ahead and check, but definitely check out all those places. And so for those people who have never heard of CTC Math, Nadim, can you just give us a brief breakdown and all the information that they need to go hop on and hopefully join today?
Yeah, wonderful. We're an online math curriculum. We cover K to 12, and you have access to K to 12. There's no restrictions.
Right.
It is learn at your own pace, as we've discussed today. And a family membership includes all your children. There's no limits or caps. We also come with a 12-month money back guarantee, no questions asked. If we're not good fit for you and your family, please let us know and we'll refund your money.
Mhm.
You can sign up for a free trial at ctcmath.com. We also have a half price homeschool discount, and with the money back guarantee, you can just jump in and create a full membership
Exactly. Exactly.
risk free.
It's great. And honestly, if you're looking for a deal, because I've been out there in the homeschool curriculum world and I have spent hundreds of dollars and I have
Yeah.
spent less than that. So I have learned over the years to really be smart with my purchases, and CTC Math was definitely one of those smart purchases because there was no downfall to it. But don't take my word for it. Definitely take advantage of the homeschool price. Definitely take advantage of the free trial and take a look at all the resources and tools that they have available. I promise you, you're not going to regret it. And so, Nadim, is there anything else that you want to leave with our listeners today?
I just really appreciate everyone's time that has listened to this and keep up the good work. We can have difficult moments homeschooling, but it's a great cause. Being the primary educator of your child is a special mission, and I'd just like to encourage everyone out there.
Um, Thank you so much for joining us again, and thank you for watching. And we'll see you again for another Homeschool Live. See you
Thanks,
then.
guys.